And then we're with Claire and Eli like grabs her sandwich and throws it away, and he's like, "You're gonna eat lunch with me," and I'm like, "Okay,
all right." But he's like celebrating because he's like, "I'm the top dog," and Claire is like, "Is that what you said to her? I'm the top dog. Was that effective?"
And Eli's kind of talking about steamrolling over Becky, and Claire's not impressed with it. And we also learned that Eli wants to do a modern retelling of Death of a Salesman for the digital age, which sounds like a bad choice.
It sounds terrible. No, thank you.
But they're with Maya and Tristan, and Tristan's like, "Oh, by the way, or actually, I don't know what happened. Oh yeah, Cam comes over and was like, Maya, our conversation was so great. Like, you agree with me on this thing, right?" And she's like, "What?" And she eventually gets the hint that Tristan went on her fucking account and talked to Cam. But she's like, "What are you doing? This is bad. What are you doing?" But then eventually is like, "I guess I'll let you do this." I don't know.
He agrees to do her French homework for her.
Right.
And she's like, "You can steal my identity in exchange for French homework." Sure.
Oh, I think they're at lunch.
Yeah. And then she's like,
"You should just talk to him." And then she walks up to like the hockey player table and is like, "Can I sit here?" And Cam's like, "I think you're lost." And I'm like, "Ugh, you're gross. You're kind of a dick."
Yeah. And Owen, I hate that Owen doesn't stand up for his brother ever.
No, because Owen sucks.
Owen sucks.
But then...
And Maya obviously feels bad because she did kind of push him. Because I feel like Tristan is very self-aware of, like, his situation in general and his social standing. Like, he's confident, but I feel like he also is, like...
There's only so much I can do.
Exactly. And I feel like Maya doesn't think that way.
Yeah.
So she definitely, like, you can see it on her face that she didn't expect it to go that way, and she feels bad.
Yeah. But then... we are with Katie in the media immersion room, I guess.
Yeah.
And Dallas comes in and, like, drops off footage from, like, hockey and is like, "Thanks for doing this. Like, a lot of the guys are, like, living far away from home. This is going to mean so much to them." I'm like, rare, like, nice moment from Dallas.
Although, we can talk a lot about Dallas in the next episode.
Yeah, we will. He's still, like... shaky in my eyes.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
I have a question about this whole situation, though. So he gives her this tape, and drunk Drew is on the tape.
Yeah, and he's like falling down the stairs, and he's like, "Oh, it sucks."
But Dallas put those reel together. Yeah. Like, he knew that.
Well, I was like, use a different fucking memory card, Dallas, or like check the memory card you're using before you film shit and give the raw footage to somebody else who, like, I don't know. Because he
gets so mad about the outcome, but he's the one who gave her the footage. So I was like, is it on purpose? Is he trying to ruin Drew?
I think he's just stupid.
That also tracks.
I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he's just dumb and, like, forgot about it because, I don't know, he's a dumb boy. But, like, come on. But anyway, then, yeah, so, like, she sees footage of Drew falling down the stairs and being like, "I had sex with Katie, blah." And then she has, like, a devious glint in her eye.
Oh, yeah.
But then... after lunch, we see Cam come up and, like, apologize for being an asshole at lunch. And Tristan is just pulled back in. He's like, "I'm far away from home. The hockey team's the only people I know. I just want to fit in here. I'm really sorry that I, like, was mean to you.
I hope you guys don't think I'm a jerk. I don't feel that way." And it's kind of sweet.
It's sweet, but it's also like, why are we doing that in the first place? Come on.
I know. But also, like, it's high school.
Yeah.
Like, I understand his reasoning. I don't think it excuses his behavior, but at the same time, I'm like,
high school's rough.
High school's rough, and he is alone, like, in a, like, random state.
And he has to get along with the hockey team because he has to play with them.
Exactly.
That's the only reason he's here.
And they're the only people he knows.
Mm-hmm. But then... And then I think this is maybe when he's begging to let Maya let him keep using the account, and he promises to do her French homework or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, nothing good will come of this, Tristan.
No.
Just friend request him yourself on Face Range now that you've established, like, he wants to be nice to you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's stupid.
But then, I also forgot to mention Katie's antler shirt, or her, like, deer
Oh, yeah, I
shirt.
have that down, too. Forgot about that.
But then, then we're at the pep rally, and Katie's, like, introducing the video, and she looks so fucking pleased with herself. She's like, it's gonna be something you'll never forget, or, like, something ominous like that.
Yeah, she's like, I never realized, like, however long ago, how different our lives would be, like, with the hockey team, but it's very loaded.
Right.
But also, can I just say, if Katie wasn't, like, spiraling, she would be, like, great to continue as president. She's a really good speaker. She's, like, really good at all this, like, bureaucratic, like, you know, putting on a front, like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. This girl could be a great politician.
But then the sizzle reel starts, and it seems like it's normal, and then the fucking video, the drunk video comes up, and Mr. Simpson is pissed, and Bianca's really pissed, and... yeah, it's a whole thing. And then real quick, we're in drama. And Imogen is stoked on, like, Mini Quiche being there. And Becky Baker breaks the news that the death of a salesman thing isn't happening because they've already chosen to play. And it's going to be, of course, Romeo and Juliet.
It's always Romeo and Juliet.
But it's a musical.
Yeah. And that's when Eli's face falls. He hears Romeo and Juliet, and he's like, okay, because this is Degrassi, and they love Shakespeare, but only, like, Taming of the Shrew and Romeo and Juliet. Why isn't anyone doing The Tempest? Anyway. But then he hears musical, and his face just falls.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know how to do a musical.
And she's like, you'll figure it out.
Also, a musical of Romeo and Juliet sounds terrible.
Yeah, it sounds real bad. Unless you really have fun with it, like the movie Get Over It when they did a musical of A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh my God. Never forget. Never forget.
Like, terribly wonderful. That's what I'm, like, hoping for of this play, a little bit.
I want that. Also, can we just watch Get Over It?
Oh, I love that movie so much.
We haven't watched it in, like, literal years.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
Everybody will. We've probably talked about it on the podcast before, but it was probably like when we watched it years ago.
Yeah.
It's so
God,
good.
We've been doing this for a long time.
It's so good. I know. Anyway, then we're back and the madness. And Katie is so pleased with herself. She does not regret this at all.
Oh, no. And she right away admits it to Simpson. She's, like, so zen about how much she doesn't give a shit anymore. And I kind of love it.
She even says, like, I'm free. And I'm like, free of what? You're in a fucking free fall, Katie. Like, what is going on with you?
But honestly, I kind of love it. I like this Katie so much more than sad Katie.
Nihilistic.
Oh, yeah. Which is, like, my entire vibe. I love it so much.
Oh, yeah. And, like, during this, we see, like, Bianca basically break up with Drew in the hallway, and which is fair. And then part 2 starts off with Casey and Connor reenacting the video.
It's amazing.
And I love it.
I had to do a double take. I was like, wait, is this happening right now? And it was amazing.
And then we learned that Bianca's on the academic quiz team, and Drew's, like, trying to apologize with her with a blinged out phone case or whatever. And then he follows her into the quiz room. Which, like,
let's be real, he knows his audience.
Yeah. And he follows her into the quiz room and is like, and they're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'll try out to be on the quiz team. And Connor's like, you have to be smart. Which was amazing.
So good and so Connor. And Drew's like, are you saying I'm not smart? And Connor's like, yes.
I don't see why everyone's confused here.
I love Connor.
And then they're like, I mean, I guess we have a spot open for geography if you want to try. And I'm like, Drew doesn't know shit about geography. He barely knows where France is. And then we're with Eli, who is not happy about the musical and is like arguing with Becky, and she says something like, I prayed for you and the Lord hasn't let me down yet, and it sounds like a threat.
Yep. Also, anytime someone's like, I prayed for you, I instantly get, like, shivers. I'm like, no thanks.
Ew, please don't.
No thank you.
But then we're with Tristan, who, like, brings in, like, all of, like, the receipts of his chats, his face rain chats with Cam, and is like, Maya, you need to study these to keep up the ruse so he knows what so you know what he's talking about. And she's like, what are you talking about?
And he also color coded it.
And then he comes over and is like, oh my God, congrats, Maya. And aren't you excited? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, and Tristan's like, oh, yeah, she told you, too, that she's trying out for the musical? I'm going to, too. And she's like, are you fucking kidding me?
She's like, I'm supposed to be in a rock band. Go fuck yourself. This is not my vibe.
But then we're at the auditions, and Tori is singing and trying out for the musical. That must be when you saw her whatever dress that I don't remember.
Yeah, because my note is Tori is singing, and I like her dress.
And then...
So, yeah, that makes sense.
And then she walks off the stage, and Tristan goes up next, and as they're, like, passing each other, she says, "Killed it, kill it," and he says, "Already killed," and I love it.
I love it so much.
And then Tristan kind of, like, speaks the lyrics over the music.
Yeah, he does
and,
like a weird, like, kind of spoken word sing talk thing, and Eli
loves it. He's like, somebody finally did something new with the material, and Becky is like not having any of it.
Yep, and this is when I was like, oh, she's gonna be super Christian, because she's like, he seems confused, and that feels loaded.
And then I said, ew, wait, does Becky not want to cast Tristan because he's gay? And I was like, no, I don't like it. But then we are with Drew and Adam, and they're studying geography, and Adam's helping him, and Drew's stupid. But then he starts getting questions right because of, like, movies and shit that he's seen, because of, like, Braveheart. And I'm also, like, why is Drew good at this?
I know. Also, he thinks Lower Asia is a country.
Yeah, and just Asia. But then we're at school, and he shows up, and he's like, this is when he's wearing those sunglasses. And I'm like, is he hungover? Is he sick? What is happening? For a second, I was like, does he have, like, meningitis? Like, what? I, like, had no idea where we were going with this.
It was such an about face.
Because it was so, like, it was just so sudden.
Yeah.
They're like, there were no hints to this other than, like, oh, we watched the video of him falling down again earlier.
Yeah.
To where this was leading. And I was extremely confused. And I'm like, what is, like, the whole time I just kept screaming, like, what is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? He goes into, like, tryout for the quiz team, and he doesn't answer any of the questions because he's out of it.
Including the ones that we know that he already got, like Afghanistan.
Yeah. And the Battle of Sterling or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he, like, walks out, and Adam is like, what is going on? And he calls Adam Gracie, and then he, like, collapses, and it's like, what the fuck is happening to Drew? It was so confusing.
It was very strange.
But I guess that's how you would feel if you were in that situation and you saw Drew acting all weird, because it seemed like everything was just fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't fine.
It was very surprising, because also Degrassi loves to plant very obvious seeds before anything happens, so you always kind of know that a thing is coming.
Yeah.
But this was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was like, what is wrong with him? But then we are with Claire and Eli, and Claire's trying to, like, cheer him up by, like, dancing, and he's all stressed out about the auditions.
And she's also making all the good points. She's like, you know, this shouldn't stop you from being unique and putting your own spin on it, and she can't stop you from doing that. Like, make the best of this situation. Like, you're not always, she's like, you want to go to Tisch, and you're not always going to work with people that you like.
Yeah, and she's like, be like Christopher Nolan. Like, you talked about how in The Dark Knight he, like, took all these tired things and made them his own. And he's like, I'm not Christopher Nolan. I can't even pass for the Joker anymore. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we're in the hospital, and then we find out that Drew has had a fucking concussion since he fell down the stairs, which I fucking said when he fell down the stairs.
Yes. And also, he's just, like, overall had way too many head injuries.
Yeah.
Which is the thing that happens.
Oh, yeah,
I have a friend who got so many concussions that he was a hockey player, and it literally changed his personality.
It's a huge problem in football.
Yeah.
Like, people should not be playing football, end of story. Like, that shit fucks you up.
Yeah.
Also, I think that's a big reason why, like, some athletes, like, end up, like, a switch flips, and they end up, like, killing their wives, and, like, their personality changes.
Yeah. No, I have a friend who, like, became clinically depressed because he had so many head injuries. Also, we find out that he only fell down the stairs. This party was only a week ago.
God,
I feel like so much
happened.
I know. I feel like so much time has passed.
Although I guess it was just the last episode.
I know, but
I think it's just time has passed since we watched it.
That's true. But it just, like, it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. And Drew's not taking it seriously. And then we're, like, reminded of the time he was in, like, Fight Club or whatever, which we didn't actually watch that episode. We had other people named Holland and Kelsey watch that for April 1st episode or whatever.
Pretty much. I also regularly forget about the Fight Club thing.
Yeah. And then